YouTube. It has been quite some time. So this build is actually nearing completion now. The carpet is in, the lighting is in. There are a few final touches I need to make, like finishing off the step lights, finishing off the outlets for the seats. But outside of that, it's really been a game of acquisition. The equipment that I want to populate this room with is very expensive, and because I am not rich, it's taken a while to get the equipment. So I've taken the first step. Subwoofers have been acquired. Next up are the projector. I have the Oppo UDP 203 Blu-ray player, and I've been working on some voice control for the lighting and just doing some light control integration. So we're going to touch on each of those in this video today. For those who have been following me for a long time, thank you for watching, thank you for following, and things are going to get real exciting real soon. Alright, stay tuned. One of the biggest changes to this room is the fact that the screen is now up. So let's take a look. This is a 12-foot wide Seymour AV center stage screen. It's so big I had to stand on the back of the riser to actually capture it with the front of the room. So it's a curved screen. There's a slight curve, as you can see as I move closer to it. You see, you can follow that. The convex or concave? Can't remember. My engineering classes are rusty. The subwoofers have been acquired. These are the Seaton Sound F18 subwoofers. I have 8 of these. I have 2 in this corner, and then 2 in that corner, and then I have 2 in each corner behind the screen. So if you remember from some earlier videos, the baffle wall had a cutout right around here, and it was a fairly large size. That's why it fits 2 of those subwoofers, 18 inches each, in that corner and that corner of the screen. So we're talking about a total of 8 subwoofers. These are in the room, but they're not visible because the rear row of seating is going to go right there, and few, if any, are going to ever venture back there besides me. Okay, so you guys want to see something cool? Check this out. Alexa, turn on entry mode.
Okay.
You see how the lights dimmed? Alexa, turn theater lights off.
Okay.
Ooh, it's dark. Alexa, turn theater lights on.
Okay.
Alexa, turn on preview mode.
Okay.
See how dim it got? Alexa, turn on theater lights.
Okay.
Alright, so what we've done is integrated Insteon with Amazon Echo Dot. Their voice companion is called Alexa. Cancel. She responds to the mentioning of her name. So as you mention the name, she'll enter a command mode, and you provide the vocal command, and then she'll execute it. So the Insteon switch has been installed as an Insteon dimmer, and then that you look up the skill in the Alexa app, and then once you mate those two, you have voice control capabilities. And this here is the Insteon switch that I've been using. This is the only light source that's wired up at the moment, hence this bird's nest of wires, and you know, it's a mess right now. So this is the actual product itself. If you have your Amazon app, go ahead and pause this video and scan this barcode. The model number is 2477DBK. You'll also find it as 2477D. BK is just black, the color of it. So yes, buy Insteon. It works with the Insteon app, which I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, so I strongly suggest the use of an iPad. It's just so much easier to set up than on a phone. So for Insteon, Go ahead and I would suggest create a folder called Home Automation. That's where you would keep your Alexa, your Harmony, your Insteon. So I have my Insteon in here. Just gonna go ahead and open that. So here now, my house. These you can set up, but let's talk about adding. Let's do create a scene, because if when you first set it up, you're gonna add at least one device. So I'm not gonna go through the add device. You'll follow the wizard on startup. So to create a scene, so say you already have your device in that's connected to power. You go ahead and create a scene, and then here you have the option to edit it. So the name, just for the heck of it, let's call this the Beast Unleashed. Okay, that's done. Room memberships, just one, the theater. Schedule, you can set it to turn on and off at certain times. I'm not going to have that here. So scene members, here are the theater room devices. I only have one connected right now, which are the theater lights. So I go ahead and click that. The check mark activates. I hit next. And then I can choose to have the controller, the responder, or both receive this command. So I'll keep it at responder. So right now it has in 0.1 seconds it'll turn on, but you can change that completely. For instance, this is the on level, and so instead of 100%, which is all on, I can do 25, I can do 50, I can do 28%. You know, there really are no limitations. 17, just picking some random percents. So you can use this to select what percent power gets to your lights. Okay, so right now I have it at 17%. Ramp rate, do I want it every 0.1 seconds? Do I want it every 0.5 seconds? Do I want it to be slow every 5 seconds? And then of course here you can just pick different intervals down here. Alright, so once you've done all of that, then you would hit done right here, and then your scene would be created. Alright, I'm exiting this, so incomplete scene, yes, I'm not saving this. I already have all of the scenes that I want, I have created here. And these are the scenes that I've created. I've created an entry mode, and you can see in my entry mode, as a matter of fact, I can engage or disengage here, on, off. Entry mode turns down the, it's what I want people to enter the theater to, and it keeps the lights at about 60%. Movie mode, that turns the lights off. Alright, and I can engage that down here if I want to. Preview mode, that puts the lights to about 15% or 20%, which means the lights are extremely low, but low enough where the projector image looks good, but still in case someone has to get up, use the bathroom before the movie, then they can go ahead and do that. Theater lights off, this is just an all off command. Theater lights on, that's an all on command, so it's 100% off or 100% on for each. This is just a little help button. What is a scene? I've actually never clicked on that because I had done so much research online about this. I was already ready to just dive in and program. Right here in devices, this just lets you see what your devices are. Again, I only have one device hooked up, as you saw in that bird's nest outside, and that's the theater lighting control for this room, the theater. I don't have a smart thermostat yet. I really need to go ahead and get one. So yeah, these are essentially the primary things that you'll need to know to program your Insteon hub. So once you have your device programmed in Insteon, then if you want to do the voice control, then you're going to go ahead and go over to Alexa. So let's do that right now. Okay, so you want to go to Skills, and to the right of the Alexa app, you click on that, search for Insteon. Do your search. Okay, and this is the Insteon skill right here that you will learn in Alexa. So you click on that. Currently I have it enabled, but once you enable this, it will ask you what which scenes you want to go ahead and add. You go ahead and import those, no problem. Okay, so once you have the Insteon skill enabled in your app, then you're done. So you can go ahead and turn this off and then go back to control. Then you can test out your lights. And I'm going to test them out. Alexa, turn on preview mode.
Okay.
See how dark it got? So this is where we can watch previews and even watch TV or something, but keep the lights low enough. Low enough where the projector image looks good, but high enough where you can get up and do stuff. So during times where I'm not in the mood for voice control, I use my Harmony Elite remote. This is the best remote I've ever owned. I went back and forth between this and iRule, and this just ended up being a little simpler. However, iRule is more customizable. So, and I'll continue to use iRule. I'm going to have a super customized setup for iRule for my very complex executions, but for basic watching a movie, and items like that, the very basic functions, I'll be using this. So, and the cool thing about it is that you can, again, use Insteon. The Harmony Hub works with Insteon, so you can program, just pre-program scenes to the buttons. So this is the entry mode. So this is the light, the light percentage when you first enter the room. I have preview mode here. It goes on that, so when we're watching previews, the lights are down. I think this is about 22%. I have this button here for turning lights on at full blast. Now it lights up at full blast, and then turn lights off, this button here. Done. Alright, so let me go ahead and hit entry mode. Okay, so there we are. So that's what I've been doing as far as light control goes. I found it very useful. It's been fun to do, not without its headaches. So just be warned, it's going to take a little time to get done right.